This is KCAL News, Los Angeles.
Now at 4, an arrest in a murder case that rattled the San Fernando Valley community.
Plus, the Fernandez brothers get one step closer to pleading their case for freedom again.
And Juan, Amy, I'm meteorologist Evelyn Taft tracking that warm-up. We still have a next weather alert up through Saturday with 90s and triple digits in our forecast. We'll break down all the numbers in your neighborhood coming up.
But first, breaking news in West Hollywood, where a dump truck has slammed into Whiskey A Go-Go on Sunset.
Let's go up to Desmond Shaw live overhead in SoCal with the look at that big mess. Des?
Yeah, Juan and Amy, look at all of this mayhem right here as this dump truck came careening out of control down Clark Street into the back of the Whiskey A Go-Go and taking out 6 different cars. As I double in, you can see all of the vehicular carnage here. But incredibly, there were no serious injuries in this. Now, look at how it also took out one of these light poles, a power transformer. It also hit a mail truck, a mail delivery truck right here. And we were told that the mailman out of the vehicle to avoid being hit by this dump truck that was out of control. So there was nobody behind it. The truck was apparently in park and then came crashing down this hill. As bad as it was, I mean, this could have been so much worse if it would have continued down through Sunset Boulevard right here on a busy Friday afternoon. That could have been terrible. It could have also gone right through the Whiskey A Go-Go, which amazingly it didn't. I think the cars probably absorbed a lot of that impact, and apparently there was nobody in any of these vehicles, or there would have been some serious injuries. I also have to mention, as a really crazy coincidence, the name of the band that is headlining tonight is called Boy Hits Car. What are the chances of something like that happening here with the dump truck that ran into the side of the Whiskey A Go-Go? So pretty crazy stuff, and just really relieved that no one was seriously injured in all this. Live at SoCal overhead, I'm Desmond Shaw. Juan and Amy, back to you in the studio.
That truck had to have been so heavy. Look at all that dirt in the back and the way that dirt has been thrown to the front of the truck on impact. Just amazing.
Amazing. No one was hurt. All right, Des, thanks so much. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Amy Johnson.
And I'm Juan Fernandez. An arrest made nearly 2 weeks after a brutal Valley Village murder that put neighbors on edge.
KCAL's Joy Benedict tells us they are thankful for the arrest, but say it doesn't solve the larger issues at the property.
They are images that shook a community as a man is seen breaking into a luxury apartment complex through a skylight, then climbing onto a balcony and killing a man in his own home.
Back in Israel, his brother and sister who survived him tell a story of a man who is kind, a very family-oriented, loving human being.
Steve Vardazarian represents the family of Minash Hidra. The 53-year-old was found dead in his apartment. This morning, the LAPD announced an arrest in the case.
To the family, friends, and loved ones of Mr. Hidra, we offer our deepest condolences.
The LAPD says the man in the security video is Eric Escamilla, a 27-year-old transient who already spent 2 years in prison for a residential burglary.
Without being able to talk to him, all I could do is speculate that this was a burglary gone wrong. We went inside the apartment when somebody was home, and there was a fight that ensued, which ended tragically.
A seemingly random crime that is understandably upsetting to this entire community.
Yes, we're relieved they caught him, but we're still fearful because the security in the building is not yet solved.
I'm not surprised that this murder was at random because there is transients walking through the halls, on the roof, in the parking garage, near the pool area, and they've known about it for some period of time.
Police say the crime happened on April 23rd, but Hidra wasn't found dead until 3 days later. Chief McDonald says officers did respond the night of the incident, and they are now investigating as to why they never entered the apartment.
It's trying to strike that balance about making sure that people who need help get that help appropriately, but they're not going out to locations and force an entry into a place where it's not appropriate. So in this case, that'll be looked at very closely.
In the meantime, this complex wants more security and less transients on the streets, and the family of Minash Hidra wants to make sure he isn't forgotten.
He was loved. He was somebody in the community that everyone respected, looked to as a friend.
Investigators say the suspect is currently in the hospital for reasons unrelated to this crime. He's facing a variety of charges, including murder and residential burglary. From Valley Village, I'm Joy Benedict, KCAL News.
Well, a police pursuit ends with a crash and 6 people injured in San Pedro. It happened around 12:30. The LAPD tells us the suspect allegedly had a gun. Multiple cars were involved in that crash when it ended at South Pacific and 19th. 2 people were taken to the hospital and 4 others were treated at the scene, but it's not clear how serious the injuries were. An investigation is now underway. Well, we are tracking some intense heat across our region, and that's why we've issued a next weather alert.
Some areas are expected to hit the triple digits. And meteorologist Evelyn Taft has your sizzling next weather forecast, Ev.
And Juan, Amy, if you thought today was hot, and if you think it's still hot out there, the heat is peaking. It's only getting hotter as we head into tomorrow. Can you believe that? So we're going to take you through all the numbers, but we've got a next weather alert today and tomorrow because of the heat we're experiencing inland. We're expecting the hottest temperatures to really surface today and tomorrow in our inland valleys. So these are the areas under alert: the Antelope Valley, the Inland Empire, the San Gabriel Valley, also the San Fernando Valley, the Santa Clarita Valley, and eastern portions of Ventura County in our interior valleys right there, not along the coastal plain, but still quite warm at the coast. And we're going to have all those numbers coming up for you in just a little bit. But you will see for the inland valleys, the IE and the Antelope Valley, we're looking at this burst of heat lasting through tomorrow. Temperatures climbing into the 90s and triple digits as well, and numbers running 15 to 20 degrees above average for this time of year. And this is the warmest weather we've seen since the start of 2025. In January, believe it or not. We're going to run you through all the numbers, though, for your neighborhood coming up in just a little bit. Amy, Juan, back to you.
What a change. All right, thanks so much, Evelyn. The Menendez brothers will get their day in court again. As KCAL's Jasmine Veal reports, a judge ruled today their resentencing hearing will move forward, and LA's DA will stay on the case.
Anna Maria Baralt, a cousin of the Menendez brothers, was all smiles outside the Van Nuys courthouse Friday.
When I was walking up to the courthouse today, I was asked, "What do you hope for today?" And my answer was, as it always is, fairness.
Baralt, who has been fiercely campaigning for their release, got what she wanted. A judge ruled the resentencing hearing for Eric and Lyle Menendez will move forward. The brothers appearing side by side on video. They were convicted in the 1989 shotgun killings of their parents at their Beverly Hills mansion. They say that they did so in self-defense. In court Friday, LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman tried again to withdraw the petition for resentencing for a second time, based on what he says are new facts about the brothers in 2 state parole risk assessment reports.
They determined that each of the Menendez brothers constituted moderate risks of violence, which was higher than the prior determinations of low risks of violence.
Hochman says the reports ordered by the governor mentions recent violations made by Eric and Lyle.
In January of 2025, he brought an illegal cell phone into the prison setting.
There was nothing in those reports that in any way indicated dangerousness.
The judge eventually agreed the information was not serious enough to withdraw the resentencing. Their attorney, Mark Garrigo, says the facts were already known.
Trying to undercut what is 35 years of remarkable work by both of the brothers.
Hochman says he expects parts of the assessment reports to still be considered by the court. There's also the possibility both Eric and Lyle will testify.
I think everybody should hear from them.
Their attorney, Mark Garrigos, also withdrew the motion to recuse the DA. He claims that Hochman is biased against the brothers, but he says he did not want to delay things anymore. Hochman has called those accusations of bias salacious and says that he is just presenting the facts. Here in Van Nuys, Jasmine Veal, KCAL News.
The man who terrorized Southern California drivers on multiple occasions has been arrested again, this time in Hawaii. This is video of Nathaniel Radamak last year and in 2023 coming at drivers with a metal pipe. The so-called Tesla road rage guy was sentenced to 5 years in prison but was released early. Well, yesterday, Honolulu police say they arrested the 29-year-old for first-degree assault for allegedly attacking 2 women in their car.
Well, some SoCal lawmakers speaking out against President Trump's tariffs, saying they're having a negative impact on Long Beach and Los Angeles ports. Congressman and former Long Beach Mayor Robert Garcia led a news conference today at the Port of Long Beach. He says soon we're going to see prices going up and empty store shelves.
Right now, at this moment, that Trump's tariffs are causing major damage and chaos to the economy. And it's not just the economy here in the cities of Long Beach and Los Angeles and regionally, but this damage is going to happen across the country.
Garcia says tariffs will create a supply chain crisis, and President Trump has the ability to stop it.
Amy, top U.S. officials are set to meet with China this weekend, hoping to cool trade tensions between the countries. While it's unlikely diplomats will agree to a trade deal tomorrow, it is a significant step forward in peace negotiations, marking the first in-person meeting. While tariffs have already damaged both economies, each side says they'll need major concessions before considering trade talks.
But of course, China is a major country, a major player in this space. And the president has said, and he's right, China needs the United States of America. They need our markets. They need our consumer base.
The last of the tariff-free ships have nearly all docked, and the first ships facing tariffs are arriving at the ports this month. That means consumers are weeks away from experiencing higher prices and potential shortages.
Pope Leo XIV finished his first day on the job, celebrating his first Mass as the Catholic Church's new leader. KCAL reporter Tina Kraus has a closer look at the day and all of the joy and anticipation from Vatican City.
As he celebrated Mass for the first time since becoming pontiff, Chicago-born Pope Leo XIV spoke briefly in English to the cardinals who elected him.
Through the ministry of Peter, you have called me to carry that cross and to be blessed with that mission. And I know I can rely on each and every one of you to walk with me.
The Mass was held in the Sistine Chapel, the same sacred space where just a day before he spent his last moments as Cardinal Robert Prevost, before cardinals handed him the helm as the first ever pope from the United States.
If only the rest of us in our lives and in the world could have that mad dash to unity that we seem to have in the conclave.
His election surprised even his own brother.
It was like, oh my God, it's Rob. It's never going to be the same. What are we going to do? Oh, yes, it's Rob. Yeah.
The mood has shifted here in St. Peter's Square nearly 3 weeks after Pope Francis passed. People tell me their hearts are full as a new era dawns.
I hope this new Pope also can be the same or better.
You said your heart feels better?
Yes, it feels complete again.
Leo will be formally installed as Pope at a Mass on May 18th and will preside over his first general audience a few days later.
Tina Kraus, KCAL News.
Sounding the alarm for California drivers.
Yeah, why a new USC study suggests prices could get up to $8 a gallon.
Plus, the aerial plan over a popular Orange County park that some people want grounded.
And how the Special Needs Network is making an impact on families with children on the spectrum.
No, wrong foot.
California gas prices could spike to more than $8 per gallon by the end of next year. The USC study says the potential price hike would be largely fueled by the closure of 2 refineries in LA and the Bay Area. The report also says the shutdowns would cause the state to lose nearly 1/5 of oil refining capacity, increasing prices up to 75%.
Look, we built models, multiple models, okay? And it really doesn't matter whether it's $8 or $7 or $7.50. The models all indicate the price of gas is going up.
Governor Gavin Newsom pushed back on the report. His office released a statement saying the study was unsourced and claimed that Michael Miche was bankrolled by Saudi Arabia. Miche responded by saying his work for the Saudi Arabian government between 2019 and 2021 had nothing to do with petroleum. Well, is it a great idea or a big waste of money? Plans for an aerial tram that could cost tens of millions of dollars over a redesigned Great Park in Irvine is raising some eyebrows.
KCAL's Michelle Gili is speaking with one city council member who's sounding the alarm over the project.
$250,000. That's how much Irvine has shelled out for a mock-up of a gondola, according to councilperson Kathleen Treseder, to showcase a project that she says may never make it off the ground.
I've received a lot of feedback from the public, emails, calls, comments on social media, people coming in person saying overwhelmingly they do not want this. They think it is bonkers, and a lot of them say they would never ride it.
The proposal from a startup company is to build an aerial tram over Irvine's Great Park. The idea has yet to be approved by city leaders, but councilperson Tresidder says Irvine has already spent tens of thousands to promote it. She says staff, unbeknownst to her, paid the contract for the Whoosh pod prototype of $249,550 and more than $65,000 for a 3D VR experience. The consulting fee, she says, was $420,000, adding up to a total of more than $730,000.
The number one concern is that this $700,000, it could go entirely to waste. The public doesn't want it. We have about 88 families that are homeless that have school kids in Irvine. Homeless kids. And we're putting the money to build a fake tram.
Once built out, Irvine's Great Park expects to attract between 10 and 15 million visitors a year. Plans are for lakes, a meadow, museums, and an urban forest. The public space is currently home to soccer fields and a stadium, a carousel music venue, and a balloon ride.
I'm in for the gondola. I think it probably will bring more tourists and attract people to Irvine. Oh no, I wouldn't ride it.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to spend on something like that. So I wouldn't have done it myself, I don't think.
The city council is expected to decide on the gondolas later this month. In Irvine, Michelle Geely, KCAL News.